Step into the spotlight.
Hey guys, Underground Geek here. What's happening? What's going on? How's your day going? So as you can probably tell by the title and by what's been going on Twitter, that I'm trying to get the word out. I believe Captain Cummins is going to do a video later, and then Diversity Comics will probably also do a video because it's a pretty hot topic right now. But so Dan Slott has pretty much told on himself on this whole situation for the blocking. As you know, Captain Cummings, his account got suspended finally. You know, it's not the first time it's happened, I don't think, but this is like a hard block where he could more than likely lose the account, so he started another one. That's what the thing is. They don't understand that every time they get us thrown off Twitter that we just make another one. Like, this is nothing but fun to us because you talk to the customers like they're dogs, and then we get plenty of stuff to talk about in our videos because you're such jerks to the fan base. I mean, they don't understand that. But the deal is, he got suspended, and then Dan Slott proceeds to go on Twitter to screenshot his accounts, screenshot where he says supervillain of the internet, and then try to use that against him and tag Twitter and the people in Twitter to, you need to block this guy because you suspended him, and he's back and he's bothering me, and so you need to get rid of him and stuff. And I'm not paying attention to my Spider-Man comic. But so that's pretty much what he's done. And then, you know, Captain Cummings has been very nice about it. He says, you know, no, actually you lied, and you won't talk to the customers and you harass them. And then he's like, he always goes back to he harasses female editors and transgender editors, blah blah. No, actually he's just trying to talk to you, and you keep blocking him because you won't talk to somebody who has a different opinion than you. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Can you imagine going into Dollar General to buy something, and then when you say, hey, I noticed that you didn't have any cornflakes left. I'd really like it if you would get some more cornflakes in there where I could buy it. And they just put a sign up in front of you that said, please shut up, you're blocked. You know, that's the kind of sense that they have. And then when you confront them about it, they say, well, I'm not actually the company. I'm just been hired by the company. I'm not actually the company, so I can do whatever I want. You know, that makes zero sense, because that's like saying, you know, where I work, I have a 1099. So that's like going into my business, and then a customer comes in and they're mad about something, and you say, well, F off. And they say, well, why are you talking to me like that? That's not how you talk to a customer, saying, well, I don't work for the company, or I'm not the company, I just work for the company. So F off. I mean, let's see how far that goes before we're out of business. You know, it's that kind of thinking by Ron Mars and Dan Slott and their little minions, Mags Visaggio and Heather Ontos, that really go to show you why they are losing business. You know, they don't care about the customer base. The only time they would end up caring about the customers is when they lost their job. You know, then they would blame it on the customers, saying that it's their fault I lost my job. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. It's just that it's a mental gymnastics that they play where they can't take any responsibility for their actions. I'm sure when they were a kid, they always got in trouble and blamed it on someone else, and their parents was like, oh, well, you know, it's not his fault. He's just a child. He's just learning. You know, he's just learning. He's special needs. And then they grow up and they become these man children that live in an apartment with 4 other people or in their parents' basement like Dan Slott does. And then they project their own politics onto these comic books, politics that aren't real. Just like the guy at, oh, a piece of my door moved. I was like, what the heck? My door's falling apart on my car. But they like the guy that works for G.I. Joe, he's an avid socialist. He puts on his Twitter page that he is a socialist, and yet he writes for G.I. Joe. You know, things like this just don't make any sense, how this was ever able to get this big. How are these employers not going on these people's Twitters and going, Aubrey, I looked at your Twitter today and I noticed that it says socialist on there. And while that's not really a problem, It's kind of an issue because you write for G.I. Joe, which is a military type comic book where they're very patriotic for the country and what it stands for, and so we're gonna have to let you go. You know, that's the kind of stuff that should happen. But instead they say, oh well, you know, he's allowed his feelings and things and stuff like that, and feelings are the most important thing. No, they're not. You know what the most important thing is? Profit and the customer being happy. And I'm not trying to say that the customer is always right, because the customer is not always right. The customer is right when they are in the right. When a manager comes up and listens to the situation from the customer and the employee and makes a decision that's best for everybody, that's the end of it. You know, he doesn't try to back the employee on every situation. He doesn't try to back the customer on every situation. He just backs what is right. You know what I mean? But back to the meaning of this video, as we're 5 minutes in. So I want to put out a PSA today. I want to put out a public service announcement to everyone on Twitter and everyone on YouTube that is in the comic book community. Today, we are going to start Operation #DanSlott. And I want to get everybody involved. I want to get Captain Cummings involved. I want to get Captain Frugal involved, Crumble Point, Diversion Comics, anybody that will get involved. Hugh, if you're listening, Polo Darkwater, you know, all you guys, I want to get you guys involved. And we need to start a mass hashtag today. I don't want you to be mean, and I don't want you to make fun of him in a mean way. I want you to be truthful. And I want you to hashtag #DanSlott, and I want you to @Marvel Comics all day, and I want you to ask them the question of why they hire people that harass people on social media. Why are they harassing the customers when people want to know general questions about the comic book? And why are you hiring people that are cutting your sales in half? Spider-Man used to sell 100,000, now they're selling 50,000. There has to be an answer for that, and the simple answer is bad writing. Okay, it's bad writing. And anybody that reads comics now and then reads comics 10 years ago will be able to tell you that. So basically, we need to start this public service announcement. We need to get the word out. We need to let everybody know what a bully Dan Slott is. I want you to screenshot where he has talked to people, and I want you to hashtag Dan Slott. I want you to @Marvel Entertainment, and I want you to ask them why they're allowing this to continue. You know what I mean? He should be kept to a higher standard because he works for a company. Captain Cummings does not work for Marvel Comics. He's not held accountable by Marvel Comics. But Dan Slott and Ron Mars is. And so is Mags, and so is Heather Ontos. Just because you're freelance doesn't mean you don't represent the company. If you put Marvel on your Twitter page, you're representing them. Okay? Just like if someone was to dress up in a cop outfit and go start acting a fool, who are they going to blame? The cops, because they don't know any better. Okay? So, just like if someone was to dress up in a McDonald's outfit and go in there and start throwing food at the customers, they're going to think that employee just went crazy. They're not going to think, oh, that guy went home, got an elaborate plan together, made a costume, come up there and start harassing people. No. So when you see somebody's page on Twitter and it says, I work for Marvel Comics, and then you look at their Twitter page and it says, Trump, 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 you're an idiot, you suck, Trump, 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 customers are not important, Trump, 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 Trump. It doesn't matter if you're a customer for 5 minutes or 5 years, we don't care about you, Trump, Trump, Trump. You know what I mean? And then every now and then you'll see, oh, look, Spider-Man. I mean, these kind of people need to be stopped. They need to act right. They need to be shown the right way and how to deal with customers. So let's get this thing started. Let's see how many people we can get out there, because we know Dan Slott watches the hashtags all day long, and so does that guy from Bleeding Pool. They watch the hashtags all day long because he found something I tweeted, hashtag Bleeding Cool, within 5 minutes, and then tweeted on there like he was very clever. So we know these people are watching this. They're watching this more than they're watching their job. So let's get this started. Hashtag Dan Slott @Marvel. Screenshot where he's been talking to these customers in a mean way, and let's get the word out there. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.